Okay, Rabotai. One more thing that we have to know. We're going back to raising kids and punishment and so on. There is to be a role model to the child, to admit that sometimes we're making mistakes also. I know it's a little bit sensitive topic. It's a little bit sensitive, but we'll try our best. So now, many parents, they denying the fact that sometimes you have to say sorry, because they feel that it will take away the authority at home, or it's difficult. It's difficult. So now it can happen that one of the brothers is more problematic than the other ones. And everybody knows him already, a troublemaker. He's the troublemaker. The majority of the time when we are coming home and we see that the house is balagan, who we suspecting right away that did it?
The brother.
Ah,
the one that gets in trouble all the time.
The troublemaker. He is the one.
Balaganista.
The balaganist. Without even knowing what went on, no investigation done, no clue. And now we see that something is missing also. Who can take it? Huh? Mr. Troublemaker. So now he will get all the criticism. Everybody will jump on him. But sometimes there are cases that the Bemet not involved. And we punished him and we screamed at him. And this time he was not involved at all. So first of all, before you're going to do something like that, don't you think that you have to clarify what went on over here? Or automatically we reacting?
We automatically react.
Okay, so that's not fair at all. So now, after you punished him, and you found out that he was not involved, does he deserve sorry from the parents? Yes or no?
Yes, for being wrongly accused, yes.
What do we say? Yes or no?
Yes, definitely.
So now the parents are in dilemma. The parents are in doubt now. Why? From one side, they have to apologize. And from the other side, they think that the parents cannot appear that they also making mistakes. They're always Mr. Perfect, right? We're not mistaking, only the kids. And why should we say we sorry? So now they lacking confidence. The parents don't have confidence. And the maskana is, and the outcome is that if they're going to admit in the mistakes, the child will degrade them. My parents are not what they think they are. And that's what the parents are afraid of. That the child will look at them like, you like anybody else. But let me tell you something. I don't know, somehow we're not paying attention to the fact that most of the time the child knows that the parents are mistaken. What do we think? This child is a dummy one? He knows my parents made a mistake over here. They punished me for no reason. Even if you're not admitting, the child knows what you did. And now he is losing the trust in his parents. He said they're not able to admit. They're sticking to their guns even though they know that they are not right. So how can you trust such a people? Can you trust them? So here there are parents that they're trying to manipulate a child in a different way, just not to admit and listen to what they're saying. If you didn't deserve the punishment on this one, most probably Hashem made us give you the punishment on something else that we didn't know. They found an easy way out. The punishment was in place, maybe not on this scenario, but on a different one that we didn't know. So now you get the punishment.
Amen.
Amen.
You know, there are parents that are saying to the child, you have a bank account by me, and in the account, it's written that you deserve one punishment. It's in the bank already. And some saying, you know, you have a zechut. Okay? Maybe we didn't have to punish you, but you have a zechut. Next time when you do something, we're not going to punish you. Why? Because you have something in the bank. You have credit. Meaning they're giving him the permission, yeah, to make a balagan, knowing that he will not get punished because he has already credit in the bank. What the parents, it reminds me of a joke. You remember once I told you, the priest in the town who was the friend of the rabbi. One day the priest is knocking on the rabbi's door. He told him, I need your help. He said, okay, I'm here to help you. He says, I have to go somewhere, but when I'm not there, people are not able to confess. Maybe you can take my place in the place where people coming to confess. It only, don't worry, it's a little bit outside of the church. It's not inside the church, it's outside. But he said, but they're going to see that I'm a Jew. He says, no, they don't see you. They just talk, and you behind the glass, and you hear and you say, okay, you pay this, you pay that, and the sin will be cleaned. So the rabbi told him, but I don't know how to punish them. I don't know the rules of the church. He said, I'll give you a list. I'll give you a list. You know, we have a list. What did you do? If you stole something, he said, okay, pay $50 and no, good. Here we go. The rabbi says, okay. He went into the box and he did what he did. The priest came back and the priest told him, no, how was the day? He said was very busy, you know. He said, how much money did you make? He said, I made $5,000. 5,000? So much? How can it be? Me, I'm sitting there all day, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500 the most. You made triple, how can it be? He told him, somebody came. He said, I stole, and he gave me $100. I didn't have change. So I told them, I'm giving you a credit. You can go steal 5 more times. I have no change. So I exempt him. I said, you can go steal 5 more times and you don't have to confess. Why? Because you paid already in advance. That's how we made so much money. These are the parents. So let me tell you, our kids looking at us like regular people, and they don't look at us like we angels came from Shamayim. They look at us like people. So the outcome is, if you're making a mistake, don't be ashamed. You have to apologize to the child and to admit we made mistake. Why it's so important? Did you see once a couple having a shlom problem? What is the main thing? Nobody wants to admit wrongdoing. If somebody will say, yes, I did it, most of the problem is already solved. Most of it will be solved. But probably they came from home. that everybody was right. Abba was always right. Ima was always right. Everybody was right. So how can you tell me I'm wrong? You? Who are you? And I have to try to tell a child that I'm wrong to a child? It will never happen. By saying to the child, we made a boo-boo, we admit it, and we have to apologize. This child, when he'll grow up, he will understand that to apologize and to say, yes, I made a mistake. The world did not cave in, and everybody is okay, it's fine. And he's a mensch. So we're teaching our child in our home, don't admit. Why? Because we did not admit. So the child feels if I admit, I'm a loser. I'm a loser. Did you get this point?
Loud and clear, Rav.
Anybody home?
Yes, Rav.
Yes, Rav.
Very good, very good. No.
Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
Rabbi, yes.
Oh,
Absolutely right.
Tomato.
Mazal tov lekulam. Yes.
Not enough. I don't see you. You want me also not to hear you? Huh?
You're right.
Well, I'll talk to the wall. What is our goal when we're trying to be mechanech our kids? What we try to accomplish? To teach them self-discipline. Self-discipline. Do you understand what does it mean self-discipline means?
To correct oneself when making a mistake, Rav.
What?
To correct oneself, to maintain one's character traits, like being a mensch. Like no one has to tell you did it wrong. You have to self.
Exactly. I have to
evaluate.
discipline myself. I know what is allowed, what is not allowed. Not somebody have to sit next to me all the time with a gun. So the same way that we want them to be mannered when they're sitting on the tables to eat, right? Even if we're not there, they know how to eat like normal people. And how to behave toward other people. So now, let's go for a second to the shoes of a child. Put your size in the shoes of the child, what he thinks. He sees his father trying to, to sweep under the carpet the mistakes that he does. And Abba don't want to take self-responsibilities for the mistakes. Now, is this a positive role model for a child?
No.
How many times it's happening? Anybody home?
No, Rav, it's not at all. You're teaching the child to do exactly what you don't want them to do now or when they get older.
That's exactly what it is. Is this called a chinuch?
No, it's the opposite of chinuch.
Very good. Meaning, we're going to raise a child. He'll find any excuse just to show himself that he is. I didn't do it. But on the other side, if you're going to show the child that we know how to say sorry, we know how to apologize. We're going to teach him for life, that you can say, I was wrong. Like David HaMelech, when the Navi came to him and he told him, what did he say on the spot? He says, Chatati. Yehuda, why are we calling Yehudi? Why? Until then we were Ivrim behind, Ivrim. Since Yehuda was admitting what he did with his daughter-in-law, from that moment on, our name changed to Yehudim on the name of Yehuda. Lama? Why? Yehuda milashon הקודם להודות. להודות is to admit. מה זה מודים אנחנו לך? מה זה מודים? I thank you. Thank you means you gave me something. I admitting that you gave me something. So I'm saying to you, thank you. מודים אנחנו לך. Even if the person is a child. Yes. Or is not on your level. You have to apologize. When a child hears sorry, he will appreciate very much the sincerity that his parents dealing with him. And he will have the recognition that we're trying to bring him up to be a straight person and looking for emet. My parents are sincere people, emet people. They can say when we made a boo-boo, they come to say, we apologize for the mistake. So we stray people, so if sometimes we have to punish a child, he will know it's coming from a man, he deserving it. When I gave this class once, I think it was by Chazak. Somebody jumped on me and he told me, according to you, I have to say sorry to my child every day. What kind of a face I have to look at my child in his face and that he knows that every day I'm doing with boo-boos. So, what do you answer to such a person? What do you answer back? And yeah, I saw that he's got fired up. So I told him, what do you care to apologize to few kids, metumtamim, kids without too much brain? Wow, wow, wow. He said all the way at the end. And he told me, you calling my kids metumtamim? They have no brain. So I told them, if it happened to you a few times a day and they didn't pick it up, so something is wrong with them. What do you think? They don't know that? They know that you're not doing a good job. They know that. They see you that you don't want to say sorry. Unless they don't have a brain. But if a child has a brain, he knows. And when you apologize, the apologize have to be a short one and full of content. And don't start to justify. It's not good to justify. Imagine you tell your child, because you're such a trouble maker, we thought it's you, so we punished you by mistake. So by the way, you snuck over there, you justifying yourself because you build yourself such a name, so we also got fooled.
Rav, can I ask a question on that?
Yes.
But what if, like, you say to the child, like, I apologize, let's say, for accusing you. It looked as though you were the one that did it, or it seemed, or you were there, that's why I thought you did it. That would be a justification? So just, I apologize for accusing you. But doesn't it give us sort of, doesn't it, I don't want to say take the blame off you, chas v'shalom, I don't want to use those words, but doesn't it show that, like, you weren't coming from a malicious place, like you truly were wrong? Doesn't it support that claim? No, it should. Okay.
Even though what you say is right, because this child always is the one that usually it's him, usually. So to tell him now, usually it's you, this time it was a mistake and we apologizing, but we're not that wrong because you balaganist. So the child thinks that you're trying to justify yourself why you made the mistake, because
Isn't it really blaming the child at the end? Because we're saying it's you, even though this time it wasn't, but really it's always you.
we
Should be
like the husband to say to his wife, so I apologize. It's only because you have a big mouth, I made boo-boo. So I thought it was you again. Do you like to hear that?
no.
No way.
No.
That's not a good one at all.
Okay, so that's how the child feels. We don't like it, right?
Quoram, I have a question if you don't mind me asking. But what if the child understands they made a mistake and the child says, I'm sorry? But let's say like the next day or 2 days after, the child commits the same mistake and, says, I'm sorry again. But, it keeps on prolonging, after 2 days, 3 days, it's the same mistake happens. How do we explain to the child on that behalf?
I invite you to my shul. You sit on the side, and there are people there, maybe one or two of them, that already for 15 years I keep repeating, telling them, don't talk.
I knew the Rav was going to say this.
I love it.
Are in his pocket too, right?
How old are they? They have their own kids already. What do you want from the child? He's only a child.
No, nothing. But how do you explain to a child? Like, is there any way to explain to the child? You can't just say, I'm sorry, and then continue doing the same mistake. Like, is there any way to bring it up to a child in a smarter way?
First of
Yeah,
all, you have to understand that he's only a child. That's number one.
Oh, that's for sure. Of course.
He doesn't have Yetzer Tov yet. So it's one piece of Yetzer Hara, one piece, you see. So Bet Hillel. You explain, you're arguing and say, we have to work on that, but in a loving way, not to, in a nice way. He's always, you're dealing with the kid. I had a case today that my mother sees a yeshiva boy coming from yeshiva. Hanukkah. Today he went back. So he walked up late to Tefillah. His mother lost her mind. What kind of yeshiva boy is this? Why is he massive? She called me out and said, what I'm going to do with the child? Excuse me. Did you go once to yeshiva? No. You know how difficult is this? First of all, he's away from home. And the food is not what he is used to. And the learning is very extensive, not easy b'chlal. When he comes home, he wants to come home. He's only 19.
He relaxes at home.
Let him feel at home. So at least he went to Tefillah. What do you want from him? So he went at 10 o'clock, but he went. We're expecting from the kids to be tzaddikim in 2 days. Don't choke them. Let them, not that. They'll get there. It's not going to be overnight. It takes time. סבלנות. He wants to feel at home. Did you see once a soldier coming back home? Did you see it once? No, right?
No.
He can sleep 12, 13, 14 hours straight. And then they used to call it in the yeshiva, he slept a bagel.
Oh,
Do you know what sleeping bagel means?
12 hours, Rob? 24 hours?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Like a bagel. He started over here and he went back all the way here.
Oh my gosh.
So the parents, one time, he coming late and said,
Did you end up apologizing to him, Rob? To the child? For screaming at him for being late?
she didn't scream. She didn't scream. She was disappointed.
Oh, okay.
And she called me out and said, Rabbi Haimoff, my year, what's going to happen? My child said, no. No. Then I spoke to the child. On the way to the yeshiva, he called me up.
How did he feel?
I told him, you okay? Don't pay attention. Listen to me. I've seen it before, and I'll see it again. He said, I came home. He said, I'm home. Why can't I feel it at home? Why in my house? I have to feel like I'm in the yeshiva again. So instead, my Rabbi being the mashgiach, my mother became the mashgiach. When I had my yeshiva, I had boys that they didn't come to the yeshiva the whole morning. They felt bad, they felt we're not gonna make it, the mamash on the verge of depression. I went there, I spoke to them in the dome. You're not gonna be Chacham Ovadia in 2 days. Takes time. Come on, Habibi. That, we'll get there. Yeah.
Hi, Rabbi. I have a question.
Yes.
If you're going back to what you were saying about the fighting and you shouldn't tell your child and whatever, but if you have a child that's always is fighting, what do you do with that child? You don't want to put him down, right? But so what do you do with him? Because ignoring it, I feel like is also not, you can't ignore the situation because he's 10.
He's 10 years old. How many siblings?
5, Baruch Hashem.
Oh, and whom is he fighting with?
With his twin brother and his 8-year-old brother.
Oh, the twins?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what that is.
Welcome to the club.
Rabbi has experience on that.
Yes. They know what they're doing. My advice to you is not to interfere.
So just let them fight, but they're boys. They get very aggressive, violent.
You'll see if somebody outside trying to start with one of them.
Right. Then they protect each other.
When they're gonna gang up on this guy, it's a twins, you have to learn it. So from experience, I will tell you, don't get involved.
Okay.
Don't worry, as long as they don't have instruments in their hands, it's fine. It's okay. That's normal, you know. Boys like to fight. So let me give you a few points. You know, there is a story saying about very important Rav that came to collect money for his yeshiva. When he came to one of the shtetls, as they say in Yiddish, you know, in one small town, one person saw him and he started to humiliate him with terrible words. He told him, "You thief, you crook." And he's saying to everybody, don't give him a penny. He's a crook, he's a thief. Well, I mean, when the Rav left the town, the Rav of the shtetl, he heard this, he called this guy, he told him, "You right away, right now you go find him and you have to ask mechila from him." So he had to listen. Now he is going from a place to look where is the Rav that he humiliated. Every place he came, they told him, yes, he was here, he left already. And they were asking him, why are you looking for him? He said, because I called him a thief and a crook. He went to the next town. He said, where is this Rav? He said, he left. Why are you looking for him? Because I called him a crook and a thief. Every town he went, he says he's a thief, he's a crook. Crook, thief, thief, crook, crook, thief. Finally, he found him. And the Rav told him, on the shame that you caused me, okay. But on the way that you're asking the mechila, I'm not going to be mochel. Why? Because now, only in your town, they knew what you told me. Now every place that you went, now it became thousands of people that think that I'm a crook and I'm a thief. We cannot apologize to the child, okay, and continue to call him troublemaker. This cannot be done. When you apologize, say, we made a mistake, we saw. That's it. Nothing else. So now, you should write this down. I think so. If you're punishing, like to seek revenge from the child, many times we're doing it because the child embarrasses us in the store or next to the gas, and then I'm going to punish him. That's revenge. This is not a chinuch. And it's not a rifle that you're going to shoot at the child with, the punishment. The punishment had to be with logic. How you punishing? And to explain why you have to punish, and so. Punishment that is mamash extraordinary, only for extraordinary cases. Are you going to use atom bomb every day?
No. What?
Don't threaten the child. I'm going to punish you later on. You punish right now. When you're giving the punishment, you're not giving the child musar now. Don't criticize. Look, that's the punishment. That's what you did. That's the punishment. And then. Why? Because his mind is only, he thinks only on the punishment. He is hurt. He cannot accept now what you want to tell him. You're not allowed to scream at the child in public next to his cousins or family or wherever it is. Don't embarrass him. To call him nicknames. There is no place for them in the relationship between parents and children. And the last one, you're allowed to make a mistake from time to time. That shows us that you're still human. And we need to do it. It's a great chinuch. And it will pay for the long run.
Rav, you mean to make the mistakes and then ask forgiveness from the child? Okay, thank you.
Especially if you punished him for no reason. Of course you have to apologize. Think about it. I think we have a lot to think about. Yeah.
Yes, Rav, very, very important lesson. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a wonderful night, Rav. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rabbi.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you,
Thank
Rabbi.
you.
I'll see you tomorrow night in Yirtzeh Hashem.
Be'ezrat Hashem. Thank you, Rav.
Thank you.
Go to good night. Good night, everybody.
Tov.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.